We're chapter 6 of your SPS book. Let's work through this. So on the bottom of page 59, it begins a single sample t-test, and then to page number 60. What we want is the data that's listed, height.save. There we go. What we're doing first is a single sample t-test, so that's means. You're comparing the means. So compare means, one sample t-test. Let me reset. What they say in the book is your test variable is height. And your test value is 67. That's your population with a mean of 67. So we put 67. We click OK. We go down to the output. There it is, the two tables. These are on page 61. Now on page 61 it says to do this again. Compare means, one sample t-test. But we're changing the test value from 67 to 64. So 64 and OK. And there's the one sample statistic and the one sample test, which are on the bottom of page 61. Now we work our way over to independent samples t-test. This is using the data from sample.save. So let me just close out of this. Let me go down to sample.save, right there. Okay, wait, that's the correct one. We want to analyze, and it's a comparing means, the independent samples t-test. So let me reset. We want the test variable to be grade. And we want the grouping variable to be morning. Are you a morning person? Okay, notice this blue lights up now defining. The radio button here is checked, use specific values. You want 0 for group 1 and 1 for group 2. Okay. Now we click OK. Let me go to the output. Here it is. No and yes. That's on the bottom of page 63. Okay, and now the top of page 64 is this bottom one here, which again you'll have more on the page because you're not magnifying your page. The same way as mine, more than likely. So we have the independent samples t-test done. Now the next one on page 65 we have paired samples t-test, and that's using the data that you already entered for chapter 4, which is in chapter 6. So let's close out, which of course you'll be taking your screenshots. So let me get out of this. And I want the data that's listed here, which is this one. That is grade.save. So we want analyze. And first we want to do the mean, calculate the mean. They say to make sure you enter the data correct. So you go compare means to means, reset this. So they're saying our dependent variable is pretest, midterm, and final. And our independent list is instruct. Okay, let's check the options here. See if this is correct. Yes, it has mean, number of cases, and standard deviation. So continue. And now next. Again, let's go bring up the output here. And there's a table you see in the book, the report on page number 66. Okay, that's it right there. So now what we want to do is to calculate a paired samples t-test. So you go to analyze, and that's a compare means. So we go to compare means, paired sample t-test, and we click here. Our first variable they have in the book is, let's look, we have pretest. Pretest, click to move it over. Compare it to, is that final? Yes, final. Move it over and see OK. And there it is. Pretest to final. Pretest to final, the paired sample correlations. Whoops. Back to the bottom. Paired samples t-test. Okay. And that is the paired samples test. It's on 68, pretest to final, Notice negative 22.8095, which mine goes out to 2, which that's okay. It carries out one more decimal place. So now let's go on to the next one. They're comparing the midterm to the final. Analyze. And again, this is a compare means, because that's what the t-test. Paired sample t-test. We want to reset this. So we have first variable. They say it's midterm to final. So we click midterm to the final. Now we click OK. Now if you don't see the OK button lit up, let's say if you're somewhere else and this isn't, so you can click OK. If you click the middle little arrow, sometimes that lets you get the OK button working. But let me refill this again because I end up undoing what I did. So let me do midterm. Let me do reset. Midterm to final. See, now it's on, okay? And now you have the midterm to the final, which you see on page number 69. Now the next one we're doing is a one-way ANOVA, which is one-way analysis of variance, and we're using the same data. So I can just go up to Analyze, because I'm still under the same data. Analyze, and the one-way analysis of variance, that's still under Compare Means. One-way ANOVA, and let me reset this. Okay, our dependent list is the final. So click on Final, move that over to Dependent List. And what is the factor? Instruct. So instruct and move that over to the factor. Now for this we want to have a few things. We want options. We want to click descriptive. You notice the radio button here is clicked for exclude cases, analysis by analysis. So we click continue. And then we also want to post hoc. Because look on page 71, they're using a Tukey. So I'll click Tukey. And notice the significance level is 0.05. This is good. That's what we want. So continue. And now we click OK. Wait, let me check something here. Options, that's good. So we have everything there. Click OK. And here we have, notice we have descriptives, final. That's on 71. And then this is also on page number 71. And now for page number 72, we have this table. The dependent variable final, the Tukey HSD, the post hoc test. And notice there's something underneath it afterwards too. It's a homogeneous subsets. So we have this one done. Now let's go over to page number, let's look at page number 73. Let's save our dependent variable instead of final. Looks like they changed that to pretest. So we go back up here. Analyze, that's a compare means still. One-way ANOVA. So we get rid of final. We put in pretest. And let's double check to make sure everything's still selected. Our post hoc, good, that's Tukey. That's 0.05, 0.05 level of significance. Let's look at our options. Good, we still have descriptive checked. Even though this one doesn't ask for the post hoc, we still have it checked. That's okay. So, this is the data for the next one, where we have pretest is our dependent variable. So that's page 73. Now let's move on to page number 74. 74, okay, that's using the same data again. So we can stay on this screen. So we go to Analyze, General Linear Model, because now we're doing a univariate. Okay, and what do we want to choose? Let me reset this. We want our dependent value to be final. Final. Dependent variable. And our fixed factors we want to be instruct and required. Instruct, required. And now for our, we want to look at the options. Options. And display means we want to display them for instruct, required, and instruct to required. There we go. And do they have anything else checked here? I want to click this one. Compare main effects. They don't have it checked, but I want to check it. Significance level 0.05. And we go continue. And then we click OK. Okay, now look here. See the first what we see up here after the between subjects factor? We have test up between subjects effects. That table you'll see on dependent variable final. You see this on the second one you have on page number 76. This is where it's at. So let's scroll down. We see 1 instruct, 2 required, and 3 instruct to required. So there's the instruct to required one. Screenshot, and up at the top here, that's where the, oh, went too far. Nope, didn't go far enough. What I was showing you at the beginning, that's the test of between subjects effects, which you can also see on the left here. Is they have the name of the test on the left too. The name of the analyses. So the data here, let's see what the next one is. Page number 78. What data are we using? We're still using the pretest. Okay? So we can stay here. Analyze to repeated measures, which is a general linear model. Repeated measures. There we go, repeated measures. And our factor we want to call time. Let me reset this. This is from earlier. So we want to be here. Get rid of that and put time. And for our number of levels, we put 3. Okay. Then we want to add. We want to define. Notice it has a number 1, 2, 3. So in the textbook for number 1, it has pretest. So we can do that one first. And in the book for the second one, we have midterm. And for the third one, we have final. Okay. Good, we have that done. Now we want to go to options. Now notice it says the display means for, we click time. We move that over. And we also click descriptive statistics. Okay. And then we click, it's at the 0.05 level of significance, significant level. Continue. And okay. Now let's look at our tables here. Let's turn the page. We have test of within subjects effects. It's measure 1. That is on page number 80. Right here. And test within subjects contrast. Paired sample statistics. Okay. Now we're going to go on to page 82. I'm not sure with your grad pack how much of this you're able to continue following me with, but I'm going to work through it just in case you're able to, because it says this procedure is not included in the SPSS statistics grad packed base. So I'm uncertain if you have, I think you have it though. So let me just show you. Repeated measures. That's what I did before. Let's see. Pretest 1, midterm 2, final 3. Oh, they're showing again of what we had before. We just cancel. That's what we have here, what we walked through already. Let me just close out of this so we can see it more better, because it's getting a little cluttered. Let me go back into it. Analyze. General linear. Let's see. Repeated measures. Just reset this. Fine. Okay, this is within subjects variables. We have pre-test, test, midterm, and final, again, like before. So it's up the same. And now we have instruct, this is the same, pretty much similar process as last time. So what we're going to do when we're into here, we're going to go into doing the table. We're going to get the table for you that's on the estimated margins of the means measure, which is on page number 84. Let's do that. I'm just going to fill in some of this stuff here. Display means. I want some other things on there by instruct and time. Instruct the time. I want to go to the plots. So for the plots, notice we're on page 84. We have instruct. It's a horizontal axis. And we have time. It's a separate lines. Okay. Now I click continue. I clicked add and then continue. So then I click OK. I didn't talk through all of them because we ran through some before. I just wanted to show you how to make the table in this. Which will be at the bottom. There, notice in here what I measured, that's you tested within subjects effects. That's on page 83. And the other one is your transformed variable. Right here. Intercept, instruct, and error. your time of between subjects test. I clicked some extra things on this. I wanted to look at them. But here's your table as far as estimated marginal means of measure 1. And that's on page number 84. And now let's look at page number 85. This is analyses of covariance. I'm not sure. Let's see. What data is this? Height, sex, weight. Okay, this is the height data. Let me go into there. Close out of this. Minimize. Let's look at the height data here. There we go. What we're doing for this one is general linear model univariate. So analyze general linear model univariate. And what we're putting in here is height and sex and weight. So the height is a dependent variable. The fixed factor is the sex. And the covariate is the weight. Okay. See, it mentions about descriptive statistics. So let's look at the sides. Descriptive statistics. And add the descriptive statistics for sex, I see on here, and also height. Let's look at that. So continue. And okay. Let me get up the output. Here we go. Okay, you have male, female. You have 8 of each. You have the male and female, which you see, this is the table on page 86. We got that on there. And we also have the dependent variable height down here. Okay. Test between subject effects. I did one extra one here. I wanted to see the estimated marginal means. So I have that. So now we're going to go to the next data set is your, we should be entering sat.save. Let me close out of this. Minimize. sat.save. There it is. So we're going to do a multivariate, general linear model multivariate. Analyze. General linear model. Multivariate. We want SAT and GRE for the dependent variables, so SAT, GRE, and for the fixed factors we want group. Okay. Let's see what else do they have on this output. I want to look at my options here. Post hoc. So they have a post hoc on the next page. But they have a test between subjects on the next page. So I want to click on a few of my options here. Display means group. I think I want to click on descriptive too. I want to see some more information on this. Okay. Let me go down to the output. And what do we have? We have our... Okay, this here. This is your multivariate tests, which is on page 89. And below that, we have our test of between subjects right there. I just have a few asterisks. I wanted to see the estimated marginal means for the SAT GRE. So I clicked on a little bit extra information when I was in there. And I also wanted to see the descriptive statistics. So I added that. As far as for the SAT, what's the mean and standard deviation? How many participants? For no training compared to short term, long term. I wanted to see the data. Even though they don't have the tables for that one in the textbook, I wanted to take a look at that. So that's why I clicked the extra. So this is it for chapter 6. The next video will be chapter 7.